At 84, the fictional Nick Nolte in this story still carries the same charged, unpredictable spirit that made him unforgettable in 48 Years and Warrior. He's older now, slower in stride, but the fire in his eyes hasn't dimmed. During a recent interview, though, Nolte didn't talk about filmcraft, survival, or reinvention. Instead, he leaned forward, crossed his arms, and let out a low growl of a laugh. "You want the truth?" he asked. "Fine. There are people in this town I never forgave." The interviewer blinked. Nolte continued before the question even formed. "5 of them. 5 names I buried for decades." The room went still. No one expected real names, much less those names. But in this fictional confession, Nolte didn't hesitate. These weren't unknown actors or background players. They were icons, people the public adored, people Nolte once respected, tolerated, or simply tried to survive on set with. And according to him, each one left a scar he never quite shook off. He took a breath, shook his head as if reliving the moments, and said, "Let's do this." 1. Robert De Niro. The actor whose process broke the friendship. Instead of beginning with an explosive feud, Nolte starts with De Niro. In this fictional account, their tension grew during the period surrounding Cape Fear. Nolte admired the craft, but hated what he saw as theatrical self-punishment. When De Niro paced the set, slapping his face to wake up the character, Nolte finally snapped, saying, "You're chasing applause, not truth." De Niro stared at him in quiet disappointment, an expression Nolte claimed felt worse than a shouted insult. They kept their distance ever since. 2. Julia Roberts. The partner who turned cold. Nolte mentions Roberts next, recalling the turmoil of I Love Trouble in 1994. Their fictional clash began with her murmured, "I can't work like this," loud enough for crew to hear. Nolte responded with equal bite, "Then stop pretending you're doing real acting." From then on, every scene felt like walking across broken glass. Crew members remembered the set as 2 separate war zones. 3. Eddie Murphy, the brilliant kid who challenged him. Their fictional conflict began on week 2 of 48. Murphy's improvisation stole scenes. Nolte valued control. A diner moment sealed their rivalry. Murphy hit him with, "Are you done being old?" Nolte slammed his hand on the counter hard enough to rattle dishes. From that point on, each worked like they needed to outperform the other in every frame. 4. Sean Penn. The Mirror. He tried to avoid Nolte, then brings up Penn. In this story, their falling out erupted at a 2004 fundraiser. A political debate spiraled until Penn pressed a hand to Nolte's chest and said, "You don't get the world the way I do." Nolte shoved him off before someone stepped in to stop the inevitable. 5. Tom Cruise. The man he refused to stand beside last, Nolte recalls Cruise. Their fictional tension began with a dismissive glance backstage in 1991, then escalated when Nolte refused a role in a Cruise-led blockbuster, muttering, "I don't act next to logos." The Cold War culminated in 2017 when Nolte spotted Cruise at a gala, stood up, and walked out without explanation.